we're starting right about now. Welcome, welcome, everyone. I can see we have about 60 people right now, and more are still joining us. Welcome, welcome, welcome to this long-anticipated webinar. Thank you for taking time out to attend the webinar. I promise you, you will not be wasting your time. My name is Ifoma Margaret Omobude, and I am your workplace mentor. If you're excited to be here, let me see a 111 in the chat box. 111 in the chat box. If you're excited to be here, 111, put it in the chat box. Fantastic. Fantastic. All right, let's kick off immediately. Can you all see my screen? I'm sharing my screen right now. Can we see it? Fantastic. Fantastic. So we're going to go right ahead and kick off with the program. So, I mean, as I've been announcing, all through last week and week before, that I really wanted to do a webinar that will help those of us who are in the career industry, those of us who are career or corporate professionals, to learn how to navigate our careers a bit more successfully. For those raising your hands, I can't answer questions right now, but we'll look for a time to take it later. So in the confines of the time that is available to us, which is about 90 minutes at the most, I'm very, very conscious that tomorrow is a work day and most of us will have to wake up early and go to work. So I'm going to be sharing this content with you, hopefully between 60 to 90 minutes. It will be impossible to deal with every workplace issue within 90 minutes, but I have carefully curated this content to cover what I think is required for us to come to an understanding of what needs to be done. So today, before we go on, while I was so excited about setting up this webinar, running the webinar, my own mentor reminded me that, look, since you're going to be sharing something publicly, you need to be sure that you have a disclaimer up because these things are important. So I want to just share some terms of reference to avoid stories that shock. You see how important it is to have mentors. So the first thing I need to let you know is that the information that is shared here is based on my experience, is based on extensive research, but it is also meant for those who are at this webinar. What that means is that the slides that are going to be shared here is only meant for those of you who attended. So any third party that you then share the slides or the information that I shared here with, I'm not liable for that because they may not understand the full context in which the information was shared because they were not here. So whatever is shared here is based on the experience of the workplace mentor, having worked in corporate world for 22 years, but it does not form a firm rule as to how all workplaces are run. The second thing is that participants are fully responsible for their actions. What this means is that I believe everybody here is competent enough to make analytical judgments as to how to use the information that I'll be sharing here today. I'm trying to close this chat box because I'm not seeing, just give me a minute, because I can't see. Just give me a minute, people. The chat box is covering my slides. Just give me a minute and I can just take it away. Okay, looks like we're going to still have that in there somewhere. All right, so the third thing is that organizations are fully responsible for all promotion-related decisions. This means that the workplace mentor's opinions and experiences are based on her own experience and not based on your own particular organization. And so I may share that this will help you to become this. But remember that your organization is the one that is responsible for making all employee-related decisions, which may or may not align with what the workplace mentor is sharing with you tonight. I hope we all clearly understand that. I believe that everyone here is an adult and we are able to make analytical judgments about what is being shared. So moving on quickly, I'd like to talk a bit about myself. I mean, many of us have probably came and found my pages on Instagram and you decided to follow me. You've watched some of my short videos, but who is this woman that has been dragging all of us by the ears since the year began, telling us to stay at our 9-to-5 jobs? Well, I am somebody who has worked for 22 years in this corporate world. And it's funny that I started my journey to corporate employment since I was 18 years. Yes, 18. And this happened because I have an uncle who is my mentor. You know, I'm someone who has thoroughly enjoyed the benefits of mentorship. And that's why I hold mentorship in such regard that I feel everyone on a career journey needs to have a mentor. So while I was 18, my uncle sold the idea of corporate world to me, particularly HR. He would tell me, look, you have to come to the corporate world. I was just 18. I hadn't even entered the university. He would tell me, you have to be part of it. Not only do you have to come to the corporate world, you must make sure you get into one of the big 4 consulting firms, because that's where corporate world is sweet. And so by the time I got into the university, I already knew I was going to pursue a career in HR. I don't think many people have that advantage. So in my second year, I had written my CIPM, that's the Chartered Institute of. You know what they say? Yes, fantastic. So like I was saying, by the time I was 24, I got into PricewaterhouseCoopers, and I spent the next 8 years with PricewaterhouseCoopers. And I tell you, it was an experience like no other. I worked with so many different organizations, multinationals, local companies. I dealt with CEOs at every level. I learned to understand their styles, speak their language, and my practical experience showed me how to stand in the CEO's shoes and understand exactly what was going on in their minds. I met many industry giants. And so fast forward 25, I got married, and my husband, coincidentally, is also an HR professional. We have 3 children, 18, 14, and 9. And you can imagine that in our home, mentoring is a daily affair. So 8 years after I joined PwC, I left. I made a career move because at that point, I felt that I wanted to practice, not just consult. And so I chose a small company where all right. So as I was saying, I stayed in this new organization. I was the head of business support services for 10 years, where I was in charge of all the back office departments. So from accounts, finance, from IT, corporate, office services, HR, and all of that. I was in charge of making sure that those back office organizations provided services to the front office. And in 2021, when I turned 42, I became a director of people and operations, where I was now in charge of formulating and implementing policies in the organization. I became a change champion and, of course, a mentor to many young colleagues. And today at 44, I have found out that a lot of people don't really have career goals. A lot of people are just in survival mode. So they got into their careers because, well, that is what was available. And most people have not taken time out to know, why exactly did I get into a career? What am I trying to achieve? What is the end goal, with all of these things? And this is what I hoped to try and help rectify when I launched the Workplace Mentor. I want to use that platform to share career advancement strategies that work, because I have enjoyed, my career journey. And I want you to also enjoy the same career journey and not think that your career is just a stepping stone, until you find the right side hustle. Please note, I'm not against side hustles, but some of us don't know that with our careers, we can actually thrive. And I want to show you that it is possible. So let's go on quickly because we've lost a bit of time. So having said all of that, in summary, this is who the Workplace Mentor is. Look, apart from what I want to share with you as the Workplace Mentor is not the technical jargons. See, I'm an HR professional. I have all the certifications. I have I've attended all the conferences. I can tell you about retention strategies. I can tell you about productivity index. I can tell you about retainership index, but you can find all those things on Google. What I want to share and teach you are practical strategies that will stand you out ahead of others who did not sign up for this webinar, especially for those of us who work in African offices. So very quickly, I want us to do some intros. In the chat box, tell me what your position is, how many years you've been working, and where you are watching this webinar from. That's the introduction I want from you. Let's get typing. I want to know what your current position is. I want to know how many years you've worked, and I want to know where you are watching us from. Let's go. I'm reading in the chat box. I want to know, I'm reading. All right, a Greek business expert, Sarah, Saeed, Aisha says Kano, Nigeria, 13 years. Credit risk analyst, 9 months, Lagos. Ooh, Lucia Ngozi Ayano, lawyer and associates, calling from Abuja. Valerie, oops, that's gone very quickly. HR analyst, 5 years working experience. So I see a lot of HR people here. That's fantastic. Legal officer, HR manager, education, merchant sales, you are all absolutely welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'll take some time to look through the chats so that I know the kind of people that we're talking with. Oh, there's somebody talking to us. IT project manager, 15 years from the USA. That's my brother. He's also here. Hello. Jessica, accountant, 3 years. Fantastic. All right, because of time, let's get into it. Please keep putting in all your introductions. I want to see them all. I'm going to keep talking, but please put them there so that I can continue to look at it. So, what then is my mission for setting up this? Because I work. Why do I want to do this Workplace Mentor thing? Very simple. I want to be an insider's guide for corporate employees to successfully navigate workplace dynamics and come out happier, more valued, and better rewarded. That's my goal. That's why I set up this platform. I want to be able to help those of us in corporate employment how to navigate our own workspace. When you get on Instagram, you would see a lot of growth strategies for people who are starting their businesses and all of that. Where is the one for those of us who are in corporate? So I want to fill that gap where you are getting loaded, value-packed, practical information that can help you become successful in whatever career you have chosen. All right. So at the end of this 90-minute webinar, these are the 3 things I hope to have achieved. I want you to be able to believe that you can thrive with your 9 to 5 without necessarily starting a side hustle if you're not yet ready to. Now, this is not for everybody. Side hustles are great. It's always good to have many income streams. But do you know you can have many income streams even while sitting alone as a corporate person without necessarily selling lace or organic skincare? You can thrive and become successful. Second thing is that I want to provide you with an insider's guide to help you break away from career stagnation, become more fearless, and ignite you to make your next career move. And third, I want you to steal at least 3 of the workplace secrets that I'm going to share today that will help you become recognized for advancement opportunities or promotions. Do we agree that this is what we want to get out of this webinar? Let me see a 222 in the chat box. If you also want to get this from the webinar, let me see a 222 in the chat box. Thank you. Thank you. Fantastic. Awesome. So let's start with the common pain points of employees. What are those common things that we employees complain about? If you talk to 3 employees, you are going to hear these issues from half of them. If you talk to 3 employees, you're going to hear these issues from them. One is salary and compensation. My salary is not enough to meet my basic needs. My take home is not commensurate with the workload and responsibilities I have. Or my company does not even pay a competitive salary within the industry. These are the issues around salaries that we hear staff or employees complain about a lot. But can I tell you that in that same organization, you are aware that others are earning more, right? I can show you how. The second employee complaints fall on the direct leadership. So we have people who would say, my boss is afraid to let anyone shine. He thinks I will take his job. You say, oh, my boss harasses me at work, but I really need this job. My boss micromanages me. No space to perform. My boss hates me. She only favors some particular colleagues. My boss keeps complaining about my work output, yet does not give me any direction or guidance. And some will tell you, I don't like my manager. He's from hell or she's from hell. In fact, I'm afraid of him. Anytime I'm going to the office, my heart will be palpitating. It is very true. I won't lie to you. Some bosses are truly from hell. There's nothing you can do about that. But I can tell you that every boss has a button, and I will show you how you can press that button. Then we have work culture complaints. Maybe the tools that are provided for you at work is not enough. Maybe your office does not objectively recognize good work. Maybe they only promote through nepotism, or they promote through familiarity rather than performance. I'm sure some of us are experiencing this at work. In some offices, policy guidelines are not followed. The employer acts as if the office is his personal space. Am I talking to somebody here? Yes. Culture is intangible, so many people don't question it. You need to learn how to ask, seek, and knock when it comes to workplace issues. And then we have the issue of personal overwhelm. Now, this really affects people who have worked for maybe more than 5 years to 15 years. They feel stuck in their job. Some have had no promotions for the past 5 to 10 years. Same job role. Some have called me personally and told me, look, I feel like quitting my job every day, but I don't know what next to do. Others will tell me, I do my job well, but it seems everyone else is getting promoted, but no one is looking at me. Some say, I don't know what else is expected of me, but I am not making any progress. Others will say, I feel overwhelmed at work. It's as if I don't know enough. Some will say, I want to be recognized as a high flyer. I want to be ahead. How can I do it? And others have just got a new job and they are feeling lost and incompetent. I want to tell you that everybody feels this way at some point. The goal is not to remain in that space. You need to learn how to take control of your own career journey. You can't put the outcome of your career journey in another person's hands. You need to learn how to take control, and I can show you how. The fifth point is team orientation. Now, this has to do with workplace relationships. So we have people saying, oh, my colleagues are envious of me at work because I perform better. This is very true. Workplace competition is real. My colleagues don't like to share information that is important to the work. Some of my colleagues are lazy. They leave the whole workload to me. My team members seem to be avoiding me. I am always the last to know what is going on. My colleagues like to take credit for my work. My colleagues are trying to get me fired. Please, if I mentioned your own issue, just write it in the chat box quickly. Let me look at what is prevalent within our group today. Just write it quickly in the chat box. Just, in one or two phrases. What kind of workplace complaint are you personally experiencing? I did promise that this was going to be an interactive session. So I want us to engage as much as possible. Yes, Okemute said, I feel overwhelmed. This happens. Aisha said, I feel stuck in one point. I have just got a new job. I feel incompetent. Don't worry. It's imposter syndrome that is dealing with you. Everybody feels that way when they get a new job. Personal overwhelm. Colleagues are envious of my hard work. Oh, my dear, I've also faced that. It happens. You need to learn how to deal with it. Limited resources, career stagnation, overwhelm. I'm overlooked when it's time for promotion. My goodness. I'm doing 5 men's work. Victor, you have to do something about that. I feel overwhelmed. Micromanage. There is nothing that is so irritating like a boss micromanaging you, not letting you breathe, not letting you move. Nkiru wants to be recognized as a high flyer. Jumai says, I feel incompetent most times. It's a feeling. It doesn't mean it's true. My boss feels threatened by me. Very true, Chinwe. Some bosses are intimidated by hardworking subordinates. Not every boss is fantastic, but that same boss, you need to learn how to work with that boss so that you can move ahead. It's not everybody that you can cast away. Some people, you have to learn how to work with them. Personal overwhelm, micromanagement, not being allowed to express yourself. Unhealthy workplace. Wow. So we can see there's so many issues. Everybody can relate to these issues that I've shared here. Okay, let's move ahead. And as if that is not bad enough. Okay, Michael says, leaking work culture. Oh, that exists as well, almost everywhere. So let's quickly move ahead. Now, as if all the complaints that we have within our organizations, as if that one is not bad enough, we now have outside people out there giving 9-to-5 jobs a bad rap. I mean, how many of you have seen posters like this? If you don't build your dream, someone else will hire you to build theirs. I wonder which motivational speaker started using this thing, because they want to use us as material for every entrepreneur's marketing scheme. Look at this one. Leave your 9-to-5 job in 6 months. The ultimate escape plan. Your salary is the bribe they give you to forget your dreams. Why the 9-to-5 concept is bonkers and why I quit my career. You see, when this kind of information keeps getting bombarded in our faces regularly, what happens is that many of us subliminally imbibes this mindset. And we now tend to face our jobs like it is a stepping stone rather than a vocation where you properly learn and grow and become relevant in your fields. What this has done to many of us is that many young people that have a bright career, that have a bright future in corporate employment, have resigned prematurely, refusing to do the work, thinking that it is easier or rosier on the other side. Let me be the first person to tell you that it is not rosier on the other side either. I have many friends who are entrepreneurs, and while a lot of people are truly killing it, a lot of people too are going through a lot that they can't share with you, even in trying to set up their own businesses. Again, don't get me wrong. I'm not against you starting your personal business. It is good to have multiple streams of income. All I'm trying to help you understand is that you don't need to think your 9-to-5 job is under par or subpar to your side hustle. Your 9-to-5 job can also make you thrive. That's what I want to help you to understand through this webinar today. So what are 4 truth bombs about embracing your 9 to 5? Why should you embrace your 9 to 5 jobs? There are many reasons, but I'm only going to share 4 here because of our time. Number 1 is structure and stability. You have defined work hours. Now, a lot of people may make you think, 9 to 5 workers. Every day, you just wake up early in the morning. Nah, you're at somebody's beck and call for almost 10 hours in a day. But do you know that the typical average entrepreneur who is killing it, who is making it, who is doing very well, works 24 hours? Not 10 hours, not 12 hours, 24 hours. That's what they do. And the truth of the matter is that most of us do not have the self-discipline it takes to self-drive, self-motivate, and self-achieve, at least not at certain stages in our lives. You need guidance, especially as young graduates. I'm the person who always advocates that if you're just coming out of school, please go and work for somebody. The structure, stability that it gives you will be incomparable when you want to set up your own business in the future. Don't be in a rush. Don't go into your 9 to 5 thinking, I'm just staying here until I get the next best thing. I don't believe that. I believe that the structure and stability you get from working in 9 to 5 is something every young graduate should experience. Maybe some have not and they've made it, that's fine. But I always find, for the most part, that those who have worked in an organization before they start their business always seem to do better because they can put more structures even in that business that they want to set up. Take, for example, these slides that I'm sharing with you today. When my team when we're working to put this webinar together, my team were telling me, oh, madam, please write out what you want to talk about. Just write it out so that we can prepare your slides for you. And I was looking at them, that what does that mean? They said, no, I can put it in a voice note, what I want to talk about. Then they will prepare my slides for me. I said, how can you prepare my slides for me? It won't be mine if you are the one who How do I talk about it with confidence if you have prepared it for me? And they were a bit stupefied at what's going on. Anyway, I sat down and prepared these slides myself. How did I learn how to prepare the slides? From years of working in corporate employment, from years of doing reports upon reports upon reports, and from years of learning the different AI tools that I can use to help me present a banging presentation. Do we see? So the structure and stability you get from working within an organization helps. Look at how I'm talking today, because I've been making presentations for the past God knows how many years. I'm so comfortable doing it. So imagine I start my own side business now, and I want to pitch to an organization. Won't I be talking confidently? Because I learned how to do good presentations while I was in employment. So please, I would advise you, don't be in a hurry to leave your paid employment to go and set up your own side business prematurely. Make sure that you're leaving at the right time. The second thing I want to talk about is you get consistent pay that increases over time. I can see some people raising their hands for questions. Unfortunately, I can't take questions at this stage, except you can't hear me. But can everyone still hear me? Can we still hear me? I'm seeing a lot of raised hands. Can everyone still hear me? Please, for those who wants to ask questions and are raising their hands, I won't take Q&A now because it will disturb my flow. So if you could please just hold on. If we have some time at the end, we can take those questions. Can we agree to do that? Because the raised hands is sort of, it's distracting me a bit. Thank you. All right, let's go on quickly. Raise hands, please. Can you put them down? It's a bit distracting. We'll take questions after the webinar. Thank you, thank you, thank you, please, everyone. We have a lot to cover and I'm trying to watch our time so that, we don't stay too long. Okay, so the second thing is consistent pay that increases over time. My dear corporate tribers, please. Consistent pay, you see that pay that we think is small. Consistency beats intensity any day. 100K every month is easier to plan with than 300K every 3 months. I hope you know. So when you have consistent pay that you know come rain, come high water is coming, you are able to plan better. Those of us who are in paid employment have that advantage. And the pay increases. Take, for example, in Nigeria, for those of us who are in Nigeria, as soon as the fuel price hike was announced, because in my organization, we work to provide certain outsourced HR services for other clients. As soon as the fuel price hike was announced, clients began to call, oh, please do a cost of living adjustment for our staff that are under your care, 40% increase, 50% increase. Now, on the other side, what our learned colleagues on the entrepreneurial side, they're trying to grapple with what this increase connotes for their business. Waiting consign us. Our own is to sit down and hope that management increases salary accordingly. The companies who are not able to increase salaries have gone ahead to say, okay, let's have some more work from home days. Is that not so? So this consistent pay, it's good because you can plan with it. It keeps coming every month. And then there's periodic increase that happens. I've been working for 22 years. If I remember my first salary 22 years ago, which was 63,000, and I compare it to what I'm earning today, there is no, the line is very long. Do we see that? The third thing, again, is technical growth is defined. When you work in paid employment, there's on-the-job training by your managers. Personal development is faster. Most corporate organizations have training, structured training programs that teach you time management, personal effectiveness, communication skills, presentation skills, things that you would not normally learn, you know, if you were not in paid employment. So your technical growth is faster. There is somebody who is already at a level where you want to get to. You can shadow the person to grow. So that's really good. And you have mentors within paid employment that also helps you to grow as fast as you can. And my own favorite one is number 4, which is fringe benefits. You see, corporate employment can offer a stable and decent life if you get the right one. Things like health insurance, pension, NHF, paid accommodation, car, club memberships, international conferences, retirement packages, cost of passage, that's for travel, rest and recreation. My dear, it can be plenty. I was talking with my husband the other day, and I realized that for 22 years that I've been working, I have never paid for medical for myself, my husband, or our children, because we're both on a health insurance plan. In fact, I've never had to use my own because the family, we are dependent on his own health insurance plan. And that's what we've always used. Now, imagine when you have to pay for your own medicals out of pocket. These little things that we take for granted come to a lot if we sit down to really think about it. You know, what about the benefits of travel if you work with a good organization? I have a friend who every time you call her, she's in Kenya, she's in South Africa, she's never around, you know, because, and it's all work. Oh, Buki, where are you? Work has sent me here. Almost every month she's out of the country. Why? Because she has a good corporate employment. Now, let me put a disclaimer. If you cannot relate with anything that I said on this previous slide, corporate employment is not the problem. The type that you currently have is the problem. Did you understand what I just said? All these wonderful things I talked about in the last slide. If your current job does not offer you any of those things, then the job you have is the problem. It's not paid employment that is the problem. Are we still together? So let's look at this career health check. Let me help a few people very quickly to decide whether they should be in their current jobs or not. Is your pay adequate? Please, I want you to, that notebook that you have, I just want you to answer yes or no. Is your current pay adequate? That means, are you earning enough to cover your basic needs as a young graduate? Or if you're a mid-level manager or a manager, are you earning enough to meet all your obligations and you have enough left for some savings and investments? Please answer yes or no. Number two, learning and development. Are you learning, growing, getting new skills, opportunities for cross-functional competence for your next career stage? In your organization, are they training you? If they're not even giving you structured training, are there people that you can shadow? Are you getting on-the-job mentoring, for example? Are you being put in projects that are cross-departmental, cross-functional, so that you can learn from what other departments are doing? Are they teaching you, preparing you for the next career level? What is your answer? Yes or no? Please put it down. The third one is your work culture, the office culture. Is your work environment professional? Is it safe? Are people resigning? Or is your employer quietly firing all of you? Or maybe you? You know, quiet firing, I thought about it recently on my page, is where your employer is purposely hostile to you in a bid to force you to resign rather than terminate you. So they begin to act hostile, talk about you, say things they want you to hear. They want to make the environment uncomfortable for you so that by yourself, you will say you're leaving. Is that what you're experiencing? Please put yes or no. And then what about work relationships? Are you enjoying a good rapport amongst your colleagues? Are you getting along well with your boss or your leader? Yes or no? Now, if 1 and 2 are no, please look no further. Get out of that place now. You are wasting valuable time. If you're not earning enough adequate pay and you're not learning anything, what are you still doing in that place? There is no other way to look about it. See, in corporate employment, I won't lie to you. It is good to earn and learn. Both is fantastic. One is okay, but none is totally unacceptable. So if the pay is not taking you home, it can't even do anything for you. And then on the other hand, you're not learning anything, then you are in the wrong employment. You need to start looking for a better one. Don't stay stuck and waste valuable years in a place that is offering you nothing. You're just cheating yourself. And then if 3 and 4 are also no, you also need to start looking out for another job. Why? Because if 3 and 4 have issues, it means that very soon you're going to experience workplace trauma. Because in a culture where you don't feel safe, where it's not professional, and where your relationship with either your colleagues or your boss is very sour, then before long, you are going to experience feelings of performance anxiety, maybe low self-esteem, all sorts of horrible experiences that will make you very vulnerable when you find a new job. So it's like being in a bad relationship. When you now find a new bobo or gege that is very good, you bring the baggage from the old relationship into that new relationship. Take, for example, someone who has experienced a bad workplace betrayal, and she's now so cautious about workplace friendships. You can go into a new organization where the people there are not like that, and they're truly willing to give you a helping hand. But because you remembered what happened in your last organization, you treat everybody at arm's length. You are very prickly. You are very irritable. You don't want anybody to come close. And in that way, you may begin to lose opportunities as the people that should have helped you are running away from you. Do we see it now? So if you know you got value just by doing this small health check, let me see a 333 in the chat box. So I know that we're still together. Let me see a 333 in the chat box. Fantastic. Fantastic. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Are we getting some value so far? We haven't even talked about the strategies, but are we getting some value so far? Fantastic. Thank you, thank you, thank you, everyone. Thank you. All right. So let's move on from this. So I want to believe that for those of us who answered with no, we have about 3 or more no's. We know that the current place we are working now is not the place for us. We need to find a way and move out of there. That's just the only way. There's no need to try and, struggle to make it work. Start looking out for something better immediately. All right, let's move on now to the workplace behaviors and strategies that will lead us to advancement within our offices. We're going to examine these strategies in three parts. One is unleashing our own potential, the things that we have to do on our inner selves. Two is decoding your organization, knowing exactly what current your organization runs on and how to take advantage of it. Excuse me. And three, adopting the right workplace behaviors. Are we excited? All right, let's get into it very quickly. So the first thing I want us to talk about under unleashing your own potential is understand what is driving you. At the point you are now, what does success mean to you? What does success mean to you right now? And I want you to look at this circular diagram where we have nine different elements that could be translated as success. The first one is financial security, right up there. Then we have career advancement. Career advancement means you want to progress. Success to you right now means if you want financial security, it means above all else, you need stability in your finance. That's what success means to you. Nothing else is as important as that. Or yours could be career advancement. You want to move from one level to the other. You don't want to remain stuck at a point. If you begin to move from one level to the other, you feel that you have made success. Yours could be personal growth. You want to be able to look at where you were last year and look at where you are this year and nod your head and say, Ifeoma, you've tried. What you couldn't do last year, you can do now. The apps you couldn't work with last year, you can work with them now. The presentations you are afraid to make last year, you can talk more boldly now. The boss you thought you could not even talk with, you were so afraid of last year, this year you can both sit down and have a conversation. Yours could be personal growth. For another person, it could be happiness, whatever happiness means to you. For some other person, it could be fulfillment. You've had career growth, you've had career advancement. Now you want self-actualization. For some, is recognition. I need to be recognized at work. I want what I do to count. I want somebody to see what I do and say, no. If it's not this guy, no one else. Maybe that's where you are. You could also want power and influence. Maybe for you, success right now is that you want to be able to take your complimentary card, give it to somebody and say, take this to that company and they'll give you a job. Maybe that's what success means to you. And for some other person, it may be personal freedom. You may want the freedom to be able to wake up on Monday morning at 12 p.m. and put on Netflix and watch Lupin or Fair Game. Because, that you can do it. Why not? So I want you to please write in the comment section for me what success means to you at this your current stage that you are in your life. Why is this important? Before you know how to transform your career, you must understand what the end goal of your career is. So take, for example, for me, 10 years ago, I would have said success to me was career advancement and recognition. Because I worked in an organization that had healthy competition. I was working with the best and brightest people. And the way you distinguish yourself amongst people who are already very smart is if you keep getting promotions and advancement. So that was key for me 10 years ago. But today, career advancement really is not success for me anymore. Today, I want personal freedom. I want social impact, which is why I launched the Workplace Mentor. And I want fulfillment. I want to look back and say, I also helped other people to get to where I am and even surpass where I am today. That's what success means to me today. So I want you to write in the chat box. I'll be looking at it now. What does success mean to you? Career advancement, financial growth, financial security. A busy more, only you. You chose like 7 things on the. You chose like 7 things. Let's streamline it so that we can focus on where we want to move the career to. So I have a lot of people writing financial security, Do you know why this is important? For those of you who have financial security as key to what is driving you, what success means to you now, do you know that if where you currently work right now, you're not being paid adequately, but there's a lot of training, there's a lot of personal growth, there's a lot of structured development, you still will not be happy. You'll not be able to understand it, but you won't be happy. Simply because what connotes success to you, your current place of employment does not offer it. It then means that in charting your career journey, if financial security is key to you, it means that in charting your career journey, you must prioritize organizations or job opportunities that the financial pay is higher than average. You must prioritize it. If you don't do that, there is no job you get that you're going to have a feeling of satisfaction. Or if your own is career advancement or recognition, and you're currently working in an organization where the policy is that they don't really promote anybody. In 10 years, you can be on the same spot. They'll be giving you salary increases, but they won't promote you. That's why you have some people who are earning a lot of money, but they are still unfulfilled. You hear, oh, I work in Chevron. You know, they call all the big names where all of us know that they pay them, pardon my language, armed robber salaries. But when you talk to people in that organization, you still find some discontent. And you'll be telling yourself, if only me, I could work here. The reason why they're unhappy is that what's driving them is not what they are getting. They probably want recognition and they're not getting it. They're just one out of 1,000 people, but they're getting the money. But financial security is not key for them. So you need to truly understand what is driving you. That's the first point that helps you to chart a proper career journey. Number 2 is that you must have a growth mindset. I'm trying to hurry now. You must have a growth mindset. What is a growth mindset? A growth mindset is different from what we call a fixed mindset. A fixed mindset believes that what you have, your intellectual capacity, your mental ability is fixed, is how you brought it from heaven. Nothing can change. So that's how you hear people say, please, this is my capacity. Please, they should not stress me. Please, this is how much I can do. Have you seen those kind of people before at work? They don't believe that they can do better than they are currently doing. People with fixed mindset, when you try to give them opportunities for growth, new opportunities, they would turn it down as fast as anything. Give them anything outside of their four-cornered job responsibility, they will run away from it. If you're like that, you have a fixed mindset. You are afraid to step out of your comfort zone. So that doesn't help you. You must have a growth mindset. A growth mindset believes that with effort and perseverance, you can develop your qualities. So people who have a fixed mindset, they avoid challenges. They are unable to receive criticisms or feedback. They want to focus on proving yourself. These are the people who are threatened by other people's success. Some of you will probably be recognizing your bosses in this mindset. Some people feel threatened. That's why they can't help you. They have a fixed mindset. They believe that if they help you, you will take over their jobs, because they don't think that by helping you and you take over their job, they can also learn and go higher. They believe that where they are is the highest place they can attain within that organization. So they don't want anyone to tamper with it. That's why they're acting like that. And when you have a fixed mindset, you can't accept failures or mistakes because you take it personal, because you believe that that's your capacity. So you don't want anybody to tell you that you're not doing it well. They also shy away from unfamiliar things. Meanwhile, somebody who has a growth mindset is ready to step out of their comfort zones and do new things. They are ready to embrace constructive feedback. These are those people that you see them asking their bosses, sir, please, can you just give me some feedback? What am I doing right? What am I doing wrong? I want to learn. And like when I see people like that, it's not everybody that can take feedback like that. So you need to change your mindset and tell yourself and build up yourself to have a growth mindset rather than a fixed mindset. A fixed mindset does not help you. A fixed mindset limits your abilities and it doesn't help. So please, if you are in corporate employment, a growth mindset is what you need for success. If we're getting value so far, let me see a 444 in the chat box. I want to be sure that people are not sleeping off and you're still listening to me. Let me see a 444 in the chat box. Fantastic. Fantastic. Awesome. 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 All right. The third thing I want to share with you under unleashing your own potential is go for quality over quantity. My goodness. Please just look at your screen and look at these two reports. The two reports on your screen are the same. They are giving the same information. Which one would you rather read if they presented this report to you? I'm sure all of us would choose the one on the right. Is it not so? Because the person on the left simply pasted all the information on the sheet, while the person on the right analyzed it and made it easier for whomever is going to receive that report. Let me tell you something about corporate employment. Your work output announces your skill level. Some of us are so lackadaisical about what we produce. You send emails, it's filled with typos. You send reports, you don't even put any effort into it. You just dump the information. The person, your boss that wants to read the information is looking at that report and seeing all the extra work he or she has to do to your report before it can be presented at any forum. And the person just gets irritated. And you're there saying, but I gave him all the necessary information. This man just doesn't like me. Are you sure he doesn't like you? Or your output is always shoddy? Being busy is not being productive. Everybody wants to work with somebody that makes work easier for them. If you have a boss who is constantly getting irritable, please, before you point outwards that my boss doesn't like me, I think he likes this person. That person you think he likes, please go and check how that person is working. You may be surprised that it's not that he likes that person more than you. The person delivers more quality output than you do. I've worked for a long time. There are certain people that if I need a report done, I never ask them to do it, even if it is their primary responsibility. Because I know it will take me another 3 or 4 hours just trying to correct what they have done. Why should I waste my time doing that? I should look at a report and immediately get all the information I need from there and be able to say, okay, just change 1, 2, and we're good to go. That's what every leader wants. But when you don't sharpen yourself, improve yourself to deliver reports in a manner and in a way that is easy to read, easy to understand, and easy to present, then you're shooting yourself in the leg. Learn Microsoft Word, PowerPoint, and Excel properly. Don't be at awareness stage in these apps. Be at intermediate or mastery. In the WhatsApp group, when we asked people to talk about some of the things they want us to want me to discuss tonight, I read someone said, can somebody move from customer service or can somebody be moved from their job role to customer service? Is it good that somebody is moved from their job role to customer, especially when the person is not computer literate? I was a bit surprised. In 2023, there is absolutely no reason for anybody who is a graduate employee to not be technology literate in 2023. In fact, it is totally unacceptable. 9-year-olds are doing PowerPoint presentations that are wowing us now. And then you, that you're at least 25 years, you say the person is not computer literate. That's it. Please, if you're at that level, go and get your skills developed in those areas. It is not because they hate you if you are computer illiterate at this stage. If you can't do a proper presentation or you can't use Word properly, you can't use the basic functions in Excel to present a proper report. Look at what this person in this report has done. Look how the person used imagery. Look how he used, to just present the information in a simple and fun way to look at. Look at this other person. Just dumped everything. They're expecting the boss to read each line before he finds the information he's looking for. So please learn Excel, learn PowerPoint, learn Word properly. And also learn to use proper email etiquettes. For most of you, or for most of us, when we're starting out, You don't have the luxury of being seen by those who matter. But when you have an opportunity to write an email that is sent not only to your immediate boss, maybe other bosses are copied, writing a proper, nice email is a way to get yourself noticed. I like the way, they may not say anything, but this person writes well. There's no time I receive an email that from a subordinate or from one of my less experienced team members, and I see it is well articulated and well written. I always send back, well done, well written, keep it up. Because sometimes people don't even know that it's a flex to write properly. So please learn how to write proper emails. An email can help you become noticed, recognized in your organization. Don't write emails and there'll be typos inside. We'll still talk about AI helpers as we go forward. All right? The next one, of course, is be a lifelong learner. What you don't know is costing you. Remember, we're talking about yourself, things you can do about yourself right now. We've not even moved into the externals. We want to talk about you. What do you improve about yourself that can help you on your career journey? You have to be a lifelong learner. You have to learn, unlearn, and relearn what you have learned. You see, the now of work has totally changed. You see how your phone continues to do updates almost every week. You just wake up and say, should we set a reminder to do an update? It's because new things keep coming up every single day. 5 years ago, there was nothing like AI helpers. Today, do you know that there are AI helpers that can help you write almost any type of reports? Do you know that there are email helpers? Take, for example, Quillbots. I did a presentation in my office on email etiquette for my staff, and I taught them how to use some of these AI enhancers. You can write an email and you go to Quillbot, just put it inside there and tell it, paraphrase it. It will ask you, do you want it to sound informal, formal, or semi-formal? And once you click which one you want, if you see the way it will rewrite that email for you, you would think you came out of Harvard. What am I saying? What you don't know is costing you. So even if you think, oh, I don't have enough skills, there are AI helpers that can help you these days to help you cross some of those barriers that we had before. So you have to learn what those things are. You have to learn how to use them. You can't be lazy in your approach to your career. It won't help you. No one is coming to save you. You have to do the saving by yourself. And for you to save yourself, you have to start with what is wrong on the inside before you point fingers to what is wrong on the outside. I'm sorry if I'm talking too passionately about this, but I find that most employees that complain about their workplaces or complain about work issues, majority of the time, half of the problem lies with them. But they're never able to see that. They instead quickly blame shift and point hands to the external forces. I'm not saying the externals are not there, but if you can't control the external, the least we can do is to change the internal. And once that is changed, it affects how the external portrays or sees us. All right. And then number 5, under unleashing your potential. Blessing, please stop raising your hand. I can't answer Q&A right now. Identify and deal with your work demons. Say that again. Identify and deal with your work demons or your trauma responses. See, some of our work behaviors are products of upbringing, are products of unhealed trauma that we are carrying from God knows where. With all due respect, some of us have had really difficult upbringing or experiences as we were growing up. And what we don't understand is that we bring these traumatic responses into the workplace, and it manifests as some of the things that we find here. For example, defensiveness. Have you met those staff where you say, oh, Larry, that report you wrote, it's okay, but I think what you should have done is write it from a third person perspective. No, yes, I know that. What I actually wanted to do was I wanted to write it from my own perspective. Yes, it's good as you wrote it from your own perspective. This is the boss now. It's good as you wrote it from your own perspective, but I think because you are sending it to a larger audience, maybe it will be better if you write it like in a third person perspective. Yes. I hear what you're saying, but actually, what I think you can't. There's a wall between you. You can't get through to them. Everything they do is right. Rather than try to listen to correction, they try to justify their behavior. And when you are like that, after people notice you're like that, they stop trying to correct you. So you just keep going in your failures like that, thinking that you know everything. And then when promotion time comes, nobody recommends you and you wonder why. What about envy or gossip? Let's not lie. Some of us have small ogbanje tendencies. Apologies to those who are not Nigerians. Ogbanje tendencies means, some of us have small wickedness. Small wicked. After all, these colleagues that are doing workplace betrayals, are they not part of the same ecosystem that we are talking to today? Some of us may even be here that are betraying other people. When you hear that people are doing well, rather than celebrate them, the green monster start bubbling up inside of you. You're so envious, so jealous, you can't breathe, you can't sleep. You have to deal with those work demons. You are the one who is snitching on your colleague. You're the one talking bad mouthing your colleague to a boss. Your colleague shares something in confidence. You clear on and go and tell somebody. Why do you do all of those things? And then you worry, you are wondering why things are not working for you at work. Karma is real. You get what you sow. Some of you, that's what's happening to you. It's not anybody that is after you. It's the work of your hands that you have manifested that is showing up for you now. So please, you need to deal with those kind of behaviors. You need to look inwards and look at where you are failing and tell yourself, I'm going to make amendments. For some of us, it's performance anxiety. Maybe we grew up in homes where we're constantly criticized. So we became afraid to express ourselves. So every time you work with people, you are afraid that what you're doing is wrong. You are always starting from the point of I'm wrong. And these are the people, when you're talking to them, and sorry, ma, every word they start with, say, sorry, ma, please, can I share? I think their opinion is so valid, but when they want to share it, they say, please, I may be wrong, but I think. How do you start sharing an opinion by that way? Please, I know this may be wrong, but I want to say, how can you say it may be wrong and then you go on to share it? But some of us, is because of how we were trained. We couldn't share our opinions. We couldn't express ourselves. So we carry all of these things into the workplace, and it affects the way we relate with our bosses. Some of us are dealing with depression. And so we come to the office, people are afraid to get close to you. Some of us are blame shifters. Nothing is your fault. Everything is somebody else's fault. Some of you are so afraid of criticisms. Rather than come and ask somebody, please give me feedback, you'll be hiding. You don't want to hear you've done wrong. You don't want anybody to tell you you've done wrong. And you don't know that people can sense these things from you. And when they know that they just leave you to yourself. And then for others, it's procrastination. I will do it later. It never gets done. Then when the work piles up and you now have 10 of it, you now begin to have performance anxiety. These are some of the things we need to find out ways of dealing with. When you deal with these simple work demons, you will be shocked at how much more effective you immediately become. And my all-time favorite is careless talk. Some of us were not taught how to speak properly. And you don't understand that in the workplace or at the workplace, there's a way to speak and there's a way not to speak. Your workplace colleagues, your bosses are not your family members. Please stop acting and treating everyone in that motherly or fatherly or familial approach. It's not right. When you come to work, shift your mindset that you are working with colleagues. I add to them, they add to me. There is no unconditional love at the workplace. You don't have to love one another at the workplace. You only need to respect yourselves and be cordial to each other. This careless talk matter has cost people promotions, advancement opportunities, training opportunities, just because you did not know how to talk. I was in a particular forum where a boss was sharing his daughter had just done the JAMB exam, where in Nigeria essentially is the qualifying exams that help students to move from high school into the into colleges. So they have to pass that qualifying exam for them to be admitted into colleges. And this boss was so excited because out of 400, out of the maximum score of 400, his daughter has scored 270, which by all standards, it's not a bad score. So he came into the office very excited and he was like, wow, my daughter's got 270. My daughter's got 270. Blah, blah. And he was just so excited about it. And one other person in the room, a junior colleague, said, 270. That's not such a great score. I thought she could do more than that. Why didn't she score 300? And I looked at that person. I wish I had a gun so that I could just shoot the person's mouth. How do you not know saying something like that is wrong? Somebody is, and this is your boss, obviously so excited. Do you know what the daughter was scoring before? Obviously so excited about the scores of the child. And they say, or what about people who see their bosses and say, madam, it's like you're no longer going to the gym again. Hey, how in God's name will you talk like that? So some of us have lost opportunities because we're just careless with the things we shared. We thought they were unimportant. And words can hurt. Words have impact. People have heard this word and they have kept it in their hearts, and they have used that anger to deal with you in the workplace. Please take your deliverance from careless talk as from today. Are we still getting value? Let me see a 555 in the chat box. I don't want to lose anyone. Did we get some value? Did we get some value? Yes, fantastic, fantastic. Oh my God, time is fast spent. Let's move on very quickly. So if you can practice these 5 things on yourself, I tell you, you start the work of trying to come out and unleash your own potential. It's so important. So let's go to the second one, which is decoding your organization. See, your organization is a living entity that was set up for a particular purpose. It was to provide a service or to provide certain products and receive maximum revenue. So at the end of the month or year, your employer wants to make profit. And the most logical way to do this is to sell a lot of products or sell a lot of services and keep the costs at the allowable minimum. That's what your employer wants to do. Make a lot of money, keep the costs very low. Please stay with me. You need to understand this so that when you are in an organization, you're not only thinking about yourself, you understand the larger ecosystem you work with. It helps to guide your actions in the right direction. So within the organization, the base of every employer-employee relationship is transactional. You can provide a service to me, I can pay you a certain amount for it. That's the employer. And the employer is looking at, how can I get away with paying you the least possible? Remember, he wants to make the most profits. So he's looking for how to get away with paying you the least possible. You, on the other hand, want to provide your service at the maximum possible. Do you see that there will always be a push and pull between you and your employer? You want the most, hopefully by doing the least. He wants to pay you the least and hopefully get you to do the most. Do you see that you're constantly at loggerheads? This is the reason why unions were formed. So that there's a central body that can help curate the general desires and the general needs of employees to their employers. So at the base of any employer-employee relationship is transactional. Now, there are 4 stages you go through in this employee-employer relationship. And I'll run through it very quickly. The first one is the transactional, which I've just explained, the push and pull. But after that, you climb to what we call shared values. This is where your employer now shares his vision, his values. He wants you also to buy into that value. And this is at the point where your employer sees that you're a valuable addition to the organization. So they begin to share what the vision is, what it's about. Now, some organizations, some very international organizations, combine 1 and 2 together. So they do the work of getting valuable people early, upfront in the recruitment process. So they combine 1 and 2 as they are coming in, as they are onboarding you, they are sharing the vision at once. But smaller organizations first employ you and watch. Is this person going to stay? Is it before they then reveal who they are and what they want to achieve to you? Now, a lot of employees resign between 1 and 2. Are they paying me the money I want? No, they're not going to pay me the money I want. So they leave. What kind of organization is this? I don't like them. They leave. But if you're able to scale through 1 and 2 and you get to 3, you get to the trust bond. This is at the point where the employee now trusts the company and the employee is loyal to the company. And the employer can see that loyalty from the employee and is able to offer more benefits. Now, these stages are also commensurate with you growing higher in the organization, spending more time within an organization. So they're seeing that you're a jersey wearer. They're seeing that you share and live by the values of the company. So more benefits begin to come in, bonuses come in, all sorts of, no, let that person, who should go for that international? No, don't send Samuel, send Shola. Oh, don't send Aisha, send Kabiru. That's what begins to happen when you get to the trust bond. And the 4th one is partnership. At this point, you, the employee's mindset is ownership. You are a shareholder. You are so vested in the success of the company that the company even shares profit with you. So there are different levels so some employees are at partnership level. They can't leave that organization. They can't leave. In their mind, they are one with their organizations. There's nothing you can tell them. But majority of us are between 1 and 2. How much are they paying here? Is it working? It's not working. Oh yeah, let me go. There's nothing wrong with being there, but you just need to understand how it grows. And that it's when you get to 3 and 4 that the benefits become more. All right. So having said that, let's go to the first thing you need to decode about your organization. Number 1, learn the rules so you can break them properly. Yes, I said it. Learn the rules so you can break them properly. Now, I'm not talking about you becoming a nuisance in the organization. I'm saying study and understand your company policies back to back. Do you know that most employees, including HR managers, as many of my learned colleagues are here, don't read the employee policies back to back. They just follow workplace practices. In other words, what they met on ground is what they follow. If I ask, of the 176 people that are in this webinar today, if I ask you people now, how many of you have taken your employee policies and procedures and read it back to back? If you have, put a yes in the chat box. From beginning to end, your employee handbook, you read it back to back. You from the beginning to the end, you didn't stop anywhere. See, there are not as many as before. When I was saying 555, plenty people were selling. Now there's so many people read. See, the yeses are trickling in. So my point is, a number of us don't read these things. Let me tell you my experience with one client. I had a client I had to work with, and whilst we were reviewing their employee policies and procedures, we found that there was a policy on paternity leave for 5 days. And so when I asked the staff in that organization that, you guys also enjoy paternity leave here. All of them say, no, paternity leave. What does that mean? I said, but it's in your policy. They said, no, nobody has ever taken it. So I went to the HR manager and said, there's paternity leave in here. She said, I saw it, but it sounds strange now. Is it a man that gives birth? That since it sounded strange, she did not tell anybody. Can you see that? With all respect to my learned colleagues, we know this work more than each other. I think we can agree that. How can you say because you thought it was strange, you did not enforce it? What is inside the policy and the document of the organization? Do you see that? So if you, as the staff, don't take time to study what the benefits, the terms of engagement, the rules of engagement, the terms and conditions of your employment is, how can you learn to ask, seek, and knock the right way? Another example, I had a staff who wanted to resign to go study for his master's. And he did not know that there was a sabbatical clause in policies and procedures, employee policies. So he came and he dropped his resignation letter. And I said, why are you resigning? Because he was a really good hand. Why are you resigning? He said, oh, he got admission to the UK to do a 2-year program. And he knows that the company is not going to, allow him to just go like that. So he has to resign. I said, do you plan to come back? He said, yes, but he has to resign to go now. I said, how long have you spent in the organization? He said, 11 years. I said, but in our policy, if you spent 10 years in the organization, you can take a 2-year sabbatical. And he was so surprised. Long story short, he didn't have to resign. We just applied for a sabbatical and he left for 18 months. And when he came back about 20 months later, his work was waiting for him. And because he had added this new qualification, he was promoted and his salary increased. Do you see? This is what I mean by learn the rules so you can break them properly. Don't leave your career journey and experience to the interpretation of someone else. The person that is charged with interpreting policies may not know it. So understand what your obligations are as an employee and what the company expects from you so that you can match it properly. We're moving very quickly now. The next thing is learn your company's activities to retain critical talents. Learn your company's activities to retain critical talent. Please follow me closely. Now, generally, for most organizations, this is the pipeline to retaining critical talent in an organization. What is critical talent? Valuable staff. That's what critical talent is. People the employee considers valuable within their organization. In other words, these are the people who benefit from promotion, increases, recognitions, secondments, name it. People that the organizations have looked at and said, we need this person in this organization. But there's a pipeline to get in there. And this is how it happens. When you first come into the organization, you have this first green on the left. You do your onboarding, orientation, induction, you've been recruited. From then, there's a confirmation period for about 6 to 9 months, depending on what your organization does, where there's a probation period, for about 6 to 9 months, where the company checks to see if, you meet with all the expectations of you, and then they can confirm you as a full-time staff or, something else. And then when that is done, you will now enter into the pipeline. And in that pipeline, there is a watch period where the company assesses and develops you. Now, this assessment is talking about your performance evaluations. So that is the assessment process companies use to determine the competence levels of their staff. So the assessment is done. Some do it twice a year, 4 times a year. Some do it once a year, even though that's not the best. So they assess you. And based on the outcome of that assessment, what your training needs are, what your learning needs are, they develop you. Remember, I said this is a typical organization. Your own may not be directly like this, but just learn. So they develop you. Developing means they help you to build capacity. Oh, so your boss says you don't have good communication skills. They send you on a communications program. They say, oh, your technical skills in this area need some refurbishment. They send you on a training, or they put you on a project that would allow you to learn that skill properly. And then after that watch period, they then see what you get out of it. Do you become a high performer? in which case you've built capacity after they've developed you. You've become better at your job. You've become more valuable. You've become more competent. You're able to do the work faster, give output that is commendable. When they see that, they reward you. And that reward can come in form of all sorts of things. It could be job enlargement, which means they give you more work. It could be training or secondment, maybe to another sister organization or to another company entirely. It could be exposure. So they allow you to go for international conferences and whatnot, or they could promote you. And from that, you enter this critical talent pipeline. But let's come back to this develop. If after developing you, they find out that nothing happens, you're still performing at the same level. If it's a good organization, they try to upskill you. That means they've developed you, they can't see any change. So they look for alternative ways of trying to build your skills. This could mean they could put you to another department. Maybe she's not good at customer service, let's put her in operations. Or maybe if I'm front service is not good for her, she's always frowning, let's put her in back office somewhere. When they upskill you and you are still a low performer, what do? They out-counsel you. That's just a fancy name for they fire you. So what happens is that if you're on the upward trajectory, you enter into the critical talent. If you're on the lower trajectory, you face exit counseling with HR, and then they can tell you bye-bye. So this is what a typical company goes through to arrive at people they call valuable. Now, my question is, what is your own plan, personal plan, knowing this to ensure that you fall within the high trajectory? What have you learned about filling or completing performance evaluation? What have you learned about properly completing performance evaluation forms, or assessing yourself or evaluating yourself so that your outcomes are clear and everybody can see that you are improving? How are you asking for the right development so that you are able to become a high performer and build capacity? If you don't know these things, how are you able to help yourself to stay ahead of the game? This is important. You must learn your company's activities to help retain critical talent, so you know what you need to do to be part of that critical talent. Now, in my organization, when I do onboarding sessions with new staff, I usually go through an onboarding pack. And after this session, I tell them that I would email the document to them so that they can read it again and again. And then purposely, I won't email it to them, because I'm looking for people who know the importance of understanding how the company runs. And I expect that somebody will prompt me to say, oh, madam, you said you said we should remind you. And 9 times out of 10, nobody remembers to remind me to send them that presentation. Of course, I send it but it just goes to show you that a number of times employees are very laid back about their own growth. They're very laid back about their own career progress. They expect that somebody will know what they need, spoon feed them the training and the development they need, pay them the highest levels possible, promote them at every point in time, and then they will just be coasting. And then they will do barest minimum and then when you ask them, they'll say, oh, that company is not good. They don't support the growth of their staff. Ask the employee, what have you done to support your own growth? Are we still getting value? Let me see a 6. No. A 777 in the chat box. We ain't doing 666. Let me see a 777 in the chat box if we're still getting value. If it's hitting all the right spots. Fantastic. All right, we're almost there. Just stay with me. In 30 minutes, we'll be done and I will be out of here. All right, so we move on to ask, seek, and knock to get what you want. I always say it, if you follow me, I always say it, that management's discretion overrules policy. A no by policy can easily become a yes by management discretion. Management discretion is that caveat that we have to not follow policy guidelines or to reward a serendipity pattern, something that is outstanding. See, there's always a first time to do everything. My company does not, have you asked? The fact that the people before you did not ask and they didn't get it, does that mean that you won't get it? Have you laid a case properly to show the company why they should do that thing for you? Have you put it down in a way that they will look at it and see the benefit to themselves too? Or are you saying, please, ma, I had a staff who asked me one time, please, ma, please, I want to be on that training. Please, I won't mind at all if you put me on that training. And I said, why should you be on the training? Please, ma, everybody has been sent on training for a while, and it's only me that have not been sent on training. I said, that's the reason you want to go for the training. Do you know what the training is about? No, I heard that there was one that is coming, and me, I haven't attended, just very woolly discussions. Always lead with a logical argument. You can't say, please, but I want to be on that training. You go to your management to send you on a particular training. You say, oh, I want to go for this project management training. On my own, I have done Prince 1 or part 1 of this. I have self-funded it. And this second part, I think is very important for you to send me because it will help the current project we're working on right now. We need to use this second part. And I don't have the certification for it. But if the company sends me and I have the certification for it, I can be able to better deliver on that work output and, in return, be able to deliver value to the company. Show the company where they come in, and you'll be surprised at how many of the no's will turn to yes. I've had cases where somebody has come to us with this kind of argument, and the part that he self-funded was repaid to him, and he also was sent on the one that he asked for. So ask, seek, and knock. And don't give up at the first no. Always think, what is the benefit to the company so you can craft your decisions or your argument properly. All right, we're moving on. The fourth and most important part of decoding your organization, say it after me, HR is not your friend. Again, HR is not your friend. A third time, HR is not your friend. You know I'm an HR professional, so I'm telling you this with all sense of responsibility. And when I say HR is not your friend, I don't mean HR is your enemy. So in case somebody's shaking their, I've always said it, that those HR people, they're not there. The truth of the matter is that HR's first loyalty is to the business. HR's first loyalty is to the business. Don't forget that the HR manager, no matter how nice, motherly or fatherly or friendly he or she is also in a job like you and has deliverables, chief of which is to ensure the company has enough skilled resources to run the business. So HR's primary role is to ensure that the company is able to use the best hands to achieve the goals of the company, and by result, we turn out a good profit. So please, don't ever threaten HR with your resignation. Maybe you think, let me go and I'll just resign now. I'll just resign. Maybe that will make them shake, and then they'll be looking for ways to promote you. If you're looking for promotion, don't threaten HR with resignation. Because the first thing HR will do is to immediately start looking for your replacement. Because what you have simply told them is that they can't count on you on the long run. So even though the HR manager is nodding and, it seems like he really understands all you're saying and is sympathetic to your cause, let me tell you that at the back of her mind or his mind, he's thinking this person won't stay. That project that we're about to start in 2 months. And this is the guy that is supposed to lead one of the major teams. And already he's sharing that he may go. while you are there thinking that they are considering how to promote you, they are looking for how to replace you. And that's the gospel truth. And they're not doing anything wrong that way. They're simply doing their job. So also, if you're an HR professional or HR manager, your job is not to satisfy every whim of an employee. I'm going to have a separate webinar for HR managers because I think we need it. So my HR people, if you're in the house, you can scream yes with excitement. There's going to be a special one for you at some point. I need to teach you how to do HR properly, such that your employer okay, you don't want them to call you at 2 a.m. But if they have not seen you, their body will be shaking because you are the one that holds the answer to everything. I'll teach you how to be a proper people leader within your organization. But I digress. So HR, when you're dealing with HR, please share only share what is necessary. And remember that HR's priority is to ensure the company is protected. And whatever you're sharing with HR needs to see that the business is your priority. So your dealings with HR, have this at the back of your mind. HR's first loyalty is to the business. Let me share one great story with you. I just can't help myself. So there was a time I had a client whom, we're running outsourced staff for. And this particular client was having a problem with one of their staff. The girl was very connected to government officials. And so she was very rude and unmanageable in the organization. And because they knew how connected she was, and that particular client had government affiliations, they were very careful about disciplining her. This is Nigeria. No one really wants to lose their job. They don't know where she could take their matter to. And so she was a big thorn in their side. But one day, she made a huge blunder that was so clear that she could not get out of this one. She had done something to commit the organization. It had financial implications, and they were so happy that finally they had got her. So, of course, they came back to us and told us that we should fire her based on that refraction that she committed. And they told the lady to come to my office to get terminated. So we had written out the termination letter, and it was just for her to come and collect it. And so she got to my office and began to raise blue murder. No, I know it's not you people's fault. I know, they just employed you people. But she began to call names of people. Let them give me that letter. No, I'm just waiting to collect that letter. They would tell me, and she went on and on. In fact, then in my presence, she dialed one top official in the country, on speaker. And the person was asking her, what's up? I need to come and see you. I need to come and see you. And I just sat down there and I was looking at her. Sarah, they're going to regret this. I'm going to sue them. And I was just listening to all of that. Now, remember, my own priority is the clients, right? And so while she kept on fuming, I said to her, darling, all these things that you are fuming, it's possible that, you would sue them or whatever, and it will work. But what if it doesn't work? I will advise you that rather than let them terminate you, you voluntarily resign. Because if termination is on your file, then even getting another job becomes a problem for you. Because your new organization will say, what did you do that they terminated you? But if you voluntarily resign, then you can craft any story as to why you resigned. And the new organization will not feel a need to find out why you were terminated. So I laid out all these logical arguments for her, and she bought into it. Right there, I thought the termination letter. She used her own hand and wrote a resignation letter, signed it, and I kept it. And that was how she left. This was over 7 years ago. Last year or early this year, herself and a group of other people who were fired at that same time felt they had a case, and they got a lawyer. And all of a sudden, the same client came to me shouting that lady, do I remember that lady that they asked us to terminate, that she has asked for defamatory, some legalese about them unfairly firing her exposing her to trauma for the last 7 years, that because they fired her, she wasn't able to get a job anywhere else. And so she was asking for about 500 million naira in damages. And my clients quickly ran and called us that, look, see, this is what is going on. What can we do about it? I calmly told them that she doesn't have any case. They said, what do I mean? I said, we didn't fire her. She resigned by herself. Okay, you cannot see that your workplace mentor can be mean, Abi. Do you know that that's how the case was dead in the water? She forgot that she wrote a voluntary resignation. All I had to do was show them that, but they didn't fire her now. She resigned voluntarily and all her emoluments were paid to her. What's the bone of contention? She resigned. Do you see it? HR is not your friend. HR's priority is what? The organization. A lot of employees don't know this. They just think, okay, HR is not, but I'm showing you deeply why HR must act the way HR must act. So you're not hating HR for no reason. You understand that HR is also doing their job. So your own is, how do I use HR to the best advantage? That's the way you need to think. Are we still together? Is someone still excited? Did someone get value? All right. If you got value, give me a 999. If you got value from this last story, give me a 999. And if you're thinking, this workplace mentor is wicked, though. See how she just put this, give me a 999. All right. Fantastic. Okay, so let's keep moving on. Let's keep moving on quickly. And then finally, under the Decode the Organization, see, there are many things to share, but we will be here all night. So let's just share these few ones we can. Finally, on this second part is build your relationship currency with your boss, with your subordinates, with your peers. It becomes important. Don't turn work relationships into familial relationships. It can be abused. If you have subordinates, act like their leader. If you have bosses, understand how to deal with them. If you have peers, set boundaries so that nobody takes advantage of you. I won't say much more than that here because of time. Let's move on. So finally, the third part of the strategies I'm sharing is adopt the right work behaviors. Number one, only those who are seen are recognized for advancement. Only those who are seen are recognized for advancement. The truth of the matter is that for you to move ahead in the workplace, somebody in the decision-making room must know about you. If you work in an organization where you have lots of people, it becomes even more important. Somebody in there's a room that we sit in where promotion decisions are made. When your name is called, who is speaking up for you? Or when they call your neighbor, say, who is that? Which girl is that one? Which boy is that one? Kabiru, what does he do? Which department? Who works with him? What if your direct boss is not high enough to be in the decision-making room? Who is speaking up for you? So you must use emails, presentation, report, special projects to be seen. These are all advantages that you must use to your advantage to be seen. You see, when I hear people say, I don't like office politics. I don't like office politics. Can I tell you something? There is a system in the workplace. What you say, what you don't say, can and will be used against you in the workplace. In fact, the more you don't say anything, the more somebody else is crafting the narrative about you. So the fact that you are within that system, you must learn to play within that system. Otherwise, why are you there? Everyone is involved in office politics the minute you sign your offer letter. Did you hear that? Everybody is involved in office politics the minute you sign the offer letter, because you're dealing with humans. Humans are emotional. Humans are subjective. So how can you say that I didn't do office politics? What does that mean? There's bad office politics. There's good office politics. But office politics is office politics. Everybody is involved. Do you know that if you're too quiet and no one knows about you, it could turn out bad for you? I remember a guy who had just been promoted to a DM and was now allowed to be part of management meetings. And at that management meeting, he had written a report where he wanted to share some of the things that he would be doing, and he sat down throughout that management meeting, did not say a word. And I was wondering, why is this guy not saying anything? This is the first time you are here. Show some value. Show the people who are the other managers that they have not made a mistake in promoting you to this level. He did not say a word. After that meeting, the CEO said, are you people sure you promoted the right person? How could he have stayed silent throughout a 3-hour meeting and shared no opinion, no value, nothing? And he just sat down there. So after that meeting, I went back to the guy and I said, hello, guy, why didn't you say anything? He said, and I had a full presentation. I done something, but I was just afraid to present it. Do you see? His fear caused a negative perception of him. His fear caused a negative perception of him. So sometimes the thing we think we are afraid to do are the things that would actually make sense and help you to go ahead within your, help you to grow within your career. But you're so afraid. And meanwhile, it's those things that you're afraid of doing that are supposed to benefit you. So please be seen in your organization. However, do not be a nuisance. I'm not saying go everywhere. I'm not saying be at every place. The one that concerns you, the one that does not concern you, you are there. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm saying be seen. Let your work speak for you. Let your email speak for you. Let your work output speak for you. When you have an opportunity to present, practice, rehearse, so you come out like sounding like a professional. It stays in the minds of the people who are listening to you. So when they are in that room and somebody mentions your name, how about Uju? Oh, Uju, was it that girl that made that presentation that day, that beautiful presentation on workplace mentoring? Nice girl. Is it that young boy that is already a mentor in the organization that everybody says he's always teaching them what he knows? Is it that? That is how you get seen within the organization. All right, let's move on. Number 2, very important, don't become irreplaceable or you become unpromotable. Say that again with me. Don't become irreplaceable or you become unpromotable. This is the trajectory you must have. Become very good at what you do. Teach it to someone else. Learn something new at a higher level so that you can move to the next position. If you're a skills hoarder, that is people who hoard their skills. They don't want anybody to know what they know. They are the only ones who can do, and they take pride in it. They don't teach anyone. They want to be the only one who can do that particular. They're the only ones who can do, who can work on that app. They're the only ones who knows that system, and they are so proud of it. You are working yourself into competence depromotion. That is, when you become irreplaceable in the mind of your in the mind of your employer. Okay, this is the best person for this job. If you have the best person for a job and no one else comes close, why should you move that person away from that job? When is the one that is doing it the best? Do you see it now? So you're sitting down there thinking nobody is promoting you. Why should they promote you? You are doing it fantastically. You've not trained any other person. You're telling the organization that you're the only one who can do it. They would allow you to do it. But you have not learned any new skill at any level, and at the next higher level. You have simply remained extremely competent at your current level. So your current level, you shall remain. Do you see it? Do you see it? This is how a lot of us have cheated ourselves. We keep getting better and better at our current jobs, and that's fine. But what are you learning at a new level? Absolutely nothing. And we take so much pride in letting everyone know that you're the only one that can do it. So what will happen is that they will keep you at that job, give you nominal salary increases, and then when it's time to promote to another level, they'll hire somebody from outside to come over you. Have some of you experienced that? That's what's happening. It's possible that you've become irreplaceable and therefore unpromotable. So watch that. Don't be a skills hoarder. Teach people what you know. But as you're teaching people what you know, you to be learning from the next higher person so that you can also know what that person knows. And not say that person too is not teaching me. He's not the only one that has proprietary rights on that knowledge. Go and learn it anyhow you can learn it and become better at the level. Because promotion simply means you have demonstrated capacity at the next higher level, not that you have become extremely competent at your current level. This is the mistake a lot of people make. They become very competent at what they do, what they currently do, and expect a promotion. But a promotion means I can trust you to do the next higher level responsibility. That's why I promote you into that field. So here's something for those of you who have been promoted or you've just got a new job and you're feeling imposter syndrome. You're feeling like you're not worthy. You're feeling like you don't know it. It's just a feeling. Have it at the back of your mind that you got that job because you had skills. They did recruitment and you came out tops. There's something they saw. Don't let your feelings about your negative self-feelings make you feel that you're not good enough. Everybody feels imposter syndrome when they first get into a new role. Why shouldn't you? You've never done it before. But as you begin to get good at it, your experience and your skills will back you up. And all of a sudden you find out that it's easy. But don't let the fear of, I don't know what to do, cripple you to the point that you are unable to perform at your job. Give yourself some time. Allow yourself to grow comfortable in that role. And for those of you who have not been promoted, check yourself. It could be that you have made yourself irreplaceable. All right. The third thing is know your boss's color. You see, this particular one is a whole day's teaching. So I'm just going to speak very quickly about it. Work with your bosses according to their personality. Not all bosses want or receive information the same way. Don't do a blanket approach for everybody. The reason you're not getting along with your boss is you may not know their personality or you're not working with them according to their personality. There are four main personalities according to different personality assessments. You have temperament, you have DISC, you have MBTI, so many of them. But this DISC one is very simple. Therefore, you have the dominant personality, the influencing, the cautious personality, and the steady personality. And there's a different way you must relate with all bosses who show this personality. So to get the buy-in of your boss, for some, you need to start with the answer, especially the dominant ones. They want the answer quickly. So don't go there and begin to say, So when we went there, we saw such and such. At that point, they're already getting irritated. What is it? Hurry up. So go straight to the point, tell them what the answer is. And then if they ask further questions, you can tell them the process. For some, especially the influencers, those ones who have a very bright personality, who connect with everyone, those ones, you don't even start with the problem. You start with everything but the issue. You talk about the weather, you talk about politics, is when they are ready, when you've done all those small talk, then they are ready to listen to you. For others, the cautious one, they want to know the process. How did we get here? What did we do? So you need to know what kind of personality your boss has, and you relate with him in that way. We'll talk more about this, in subsequent, because of time, we need to move on. Number 4, what's your informal workplace title? This title is different from the one that is on your card. Your informal workplace title is what your fellow colleagues, your bosses, what comes to their mind immediately, your name is mentioned. For some of you, it is that person that watches Netflix at the office. For some of you, Shola, that joker, he can crack jokes for Africa. For some of you, that gossip, don't say anything to her. For some of you, Mr. Frowning, every day she comes like he comes. You can't even talk to those. You see, those attributes they think about you is more important than analysts, credit analysts, corporates, whatever your title is. Those feelings, because if it is shared widely enough, your bosses too would begin to relate with you that way. I mean, I've sat in many meetings where we say, who are we going to send to do such and such, and somebody's name comes up. That one that always procrastinates, you never give him anything and he submits it the day you tell him to submit it. No. And that one, no, he's a bit too immature. The way he talks very carelessly, I can't put him in front of the clients. These are your real workplace titles. So you need to understand that the way you perceive yourself may not be how you are being perceived in the organization. So please quickly find out and observe those playful tags that they call you. Please make sure it's a positive one. If it's a negative one, you need to consciously work on making sure that that negative title is eroded and you now have a deliberately chosen positive title. And you do that by demonstrating that positive title daily. If you want to be recognized or remembered as a person who helps or coaches other junior members to become better at their jobs, make sure that every day you are asking your subordinate, are you okay? Do you need my help? Is there anything you want me to do for you? Do you understand the project? As you keep doing that, everybody's, that guy, hey, I just like him. It's always so, whatever you don't understand, you can go to Dapo, you can go to Jubril, you can go to Ifoma, anything you don't understand, how office door is always open, she will explain it to you. Then you begin to craft the right kind of informal workplace title for yourself. And finally, the last one I'm going to share with us tonight is get yourself a work mentor. Get yourself a work mentor. Yes, 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 I'm your online mentor. Yes, 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 I share things on Facebook and Instagram, but no, I can't mentor you personally. Look at this place. There are over 170 people on this slide. If I take all of you as personal mentees, how will I get any job done? So I can mentor you personally, but it is so important for you to get a work mentor. A work mentor provides clarity of purpose for you, is able to guide you in your work, and is able to help you commit to change. Now, I have paid mentorship programs that you may be able to access me on, but they're not cheap, and I've not even looked at that one now because I have a focus right now. But there's somebody in your organization. It may not even be in your organization. It may just be a senior colleague somewhere that has the same skills or that has the skills you aspire to acquire. And then you try to choose that person as a mentor and follow what that person is doing. They may know you are their mentee, and it may just be a faraway mentorship. So you're just observing what they're doing and you're following suit. Because remember that the mentor-mentee relationship primarily benefits the mentee. The mentor doesn't really get anything out of it. So don't go to somebody, I want you to mentor me. Why? What's the benefit to me? Really nothing. So you need to be sure that the person you want to choose also has your interest at heart, and for good reason. And if you can't access somebody like that, then study somebody from afar and let that person mentor you. So did we get value? Did we get value? Let me see. Yes, 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 in the chat box. Yes, 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 in the chat box. Yes, 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 in the chat box. Yes, yes, yes. I'm not saying yes, yes, yes. So should I just close my laptop and be going? Fantastic. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, the yeses are pouring in. Whoa. Did I just see no there? Who was that? All right. Yes, yes, yes. In the job. Yep. Thank you so much. Thank you. So finally, how do you dominate at your workplace? This is October. The year is fast running to a close. 2024 is looming. We have learned some things now about how to take our career to the next level. How do we dominate in 2024? How do we set ourselves on the right trajectory to make sure that we have a transformative career journey in 2024? The first thing is to pause and reflect. It says, before you heal somebody, ask him if he's willing to give up the things that make him sick. It's one thing for us to be shouting, yes, overvalue, woo, yeah. But are you willing to do the actual work that is required for change? So let's pause and reflect. In all the things I've shared today, have you identified what you're doing wrong? Have you decided, how am I going to improve upon this? What can I do? What more do I need to do to help me improve upon this? So what I would advise you to do is make a bold step to upgrade your career in 2024. If you don't do anything about it, you are going to get more of the same. I have a lot of mentors, a lot of them. I look at people whom I admire. I don't envy them. I'm like a fan. You know, how do they call them? I'm like their fan, yes. I, gush about them. I'm like, how is she doing it? I have a best friend that we work together, and when we used to work together, we'll look at all those bosses that we admire, and we'll just sit down and be wondering, how is this our Oga doing itself? She's so well put together. Her home life is solid. Her work life is solid. She has the best relationship with clients. How can we become like this? That is what you need to do. So there's only so much we can cover in a 90-minute value webinar. In fact, we've done exactly 2 hours right now, and I'm so happy and grateful to all of you for waiting till this point. But there is more, and if we are going to go in depth on each of these points, you can be sure that we'll be here for at least 3 weeks. Is it not so? Because imagine I take each one of these points and I break it down to the barest minimum and teach you exactly what to do with templates and done for you a report that can help guide you. Wouldn't that be fantastic? Wouldn't that be fantastic? Fantastic. Thank you. Thank you. So I found a small way to solve that. I have created a program that is aimed at transforming your career journey in 2024. And I've called it Dominate at Your Workplace. Dominate at Your Workplace. Now, this program is a 3-week career transformation program for corporate employees to navigate their career journey successfully. If we're happy about that, let me hear you say, whoop, whoop. Let me see applauses. Let me see applauses. Let me see applauses in the chat box. I've talked about how important it is for me to help people on their journey because people helped me too. And so this program has been specially created for you if you're ready to take your career to the next level. The program will start November 13th and end December 3. It's a 3-week journey. It is not free, but I will show you what you will get in the program. So the first thing is, what are the benefits that you get out of the program? Stay with me for a little while. First is, I'll teach you how to get recognition and credit for the work you're doing. There is a system to doing it. There is a system to do it. So you'll be able to understand what to do to receive the recognition and credit you deserve for your hard work. And you get acknowledged for the invaluable assets that you are to your organization. The second thing you will learn on this program is I'll teach you how to deal with toxic behavior at the workplace, either with your superiors or your subordinate. Do you know that there are some difficult subordinates too? It's not only bosses that are difficult too. Even some subordinates can be chinches in your side. Anyway, so I'll teach you how to work with difficult bosses, teach you how to work with workplace bullies, and teach you how to deal with toxic behaviors from your colleagues at the workplace. I will also teach you how to become bolder and assertive at the workplace. You see how I was talking throughout this presentation, very confident. I'm so relaxed. Did you hear my voice shake during the conversation, during the topic? Did you hear me sound like I didn't know what I was doing? There's things to do to become like this, and I can teach you. I would also teach you how you can get recommended for promotions and advancement. For over 15 years, I've been sitting in promotion rooms, and I know what we look for. So I can help you walk back to the question, walk back from the answer to the question, and tell you exactly what to do. Show you how to fill your performance appraisals for success. There's a way. There are some things you need to say that you're not saying. That's why your performance appraisal, your performance evaluation is always average, satisfactory. You're not hearing, wow, competently delivered on all work output, recommended for promotion. I will teach you how to fill appraisal templates, how to record your own self-evaluation so that when it's time for appraisal, you can boldly talk about the things that you have achieved. So let's quickly peep into the 3-week course modules quickly. Week 1, we'll talk about this unleashing your potential. I will show you how to understand yourself, your work personality, and your capabilities and work values. So we will deal, you see, it's in modules. You have about 6 modules. There will be videos where you'll be seeing me talk about these different things. There'll be templates and workbooks that we'll work with so that we are working from the question to the answer. You will discover your values and align them to your career goals. You will learn how to deal with your own particular personal work crutch. And I'll teach you AI work enhancers, those AI tools that are necessary in this day and age for your career success. Oh, look at how excited that girl is. Week 2, I will teach you how to master the expectations of your organization so that you can properly decode the push and pull that is causing friction for you. So you will learn how to discover the currents that your own organization is working on. You will learn how to dominate. I'll teach you the key employee policies that relate to promotion and advancement so that you can learn them, and then you can know the kind of behaviors to exhibit. And then I'll teach you how to align your expectations to your company's obligations so that you're not feeling that they are cheating you, and they won't really be cheating you. And of course, teach you how to dominate the performance evaluation process. I've talked about that. And most importantly, in this second week, teach you how to identify the key influencers in your organization and how each one of them affects you. It's not only the people at the top that are influencers in the organization. In some organizations, your front desk officer is more powerful than the boss you are reporting to. I'll teach you how to identify these people and how to relate with them so that they help you rather than work against you. And in the third week, we'll talk about the path to recognition and promotion, how to elevate your work ethic. It is the silent stamp of integrity, how to be a problem solver, not a pushover. I will teach you how to discover this, your boss's personality, and dominate you properly, teach you how to navigate office politics to your advantage, and how to pivot to make a career move and know when it is time to exit out of the organization. Now, that is not all. On this program, I'm also going to teach you, you're also going to get some bonuses, which is every Saturday for the 3 weeks, I will give you on-the-job assignments. So that weekend, I'll give you the assignment for you to practice at work the next week. So we are practicing, we're doing on-the-job training as well. This is not a theoretical program. I've told you, I know technical jargon, but I don't want to teach you. Your office will teach you your technical jargon, but I want to teach you practical workplace strategies, how to, the nitty-gritty that makes things happen within the organization. That has gotten me to this stage where I'm just coasting and, just enjoying myself in my workplace. And I want people to enjoy what I'm enjoying. You will also have a 1-year access to the Dominate at Your Workplace community. So you can ask me questions. You can, issues that you have, I would help answer it. Then, very importantly and very priceless, there'll be relevant job opportunities that will be posted on that community group. Now, I'm HR. I have a lot of colleagues within the industry. Sometimes we just talk to each other to hear about jobs. You see those ones that you see that they posted in the dailies or that they've advertised somewhere, half the time is already taken. The real job that are in organization, you poach people for it. So when I hear about these opportunities, I'm able to help you craft or at least present the ones that are available. And if you qualify for it, help you with how to apply properly for them and hopefully get the job. I'm not promising that you will get the job, but I'll make the job opportunities available to you and help you with application tips that may put you in good stead for getting the job. And of course, you have, for that 3 weeks, you have access to me, the workplace mentor, and you also have exclusive group question and answer counseling sessions with not only the workplace mentor, but also different industry expert mentors. I have some friends, I have some colleagues who are also very good at what they do. And during the program, we're going to call them, different people, banking today, oil and gas tomorrow, to come and advise and mentor you. Maybe a 1 hour, 2 hour session, you ask questions and, they will tell you what to do. I tell you, this is invaluable. I want to do the best I can to fulfill my own part, that I came on this earth on a mission to help people become better. And you also get my free ebook, 10 things you should never share with your co-workers. So you can see that all these plenty things that I've called, if we were to cost it, even 1 million is not enough for you to pay me to teach you these things. Because at the end of the day, when you get your promotion, you not remember that it's workplace mentor that helped you to get there. But anyway, because I'm not a greedy person, I'm not charging you anything close to that. But to join the program and discover this secret, I am only going to be charging you 80,000 naira for the 3 weeks. 80,000 naira. But there is still a but, because I truly want to add value. I truly want to add value and want as many people as possible to get on this program. Guess what? I am going to be offering a one-time, never happening again price slash, because you have stayed with me now for 2 hours plus. It will only be available to people who are on this webinar call tonight. You will not pay that 80,000 naira, which is already super discounted. Instead, you're going to pay only the sum of 32,500 naira. That's a whooping 60% discount. Can somebody please say, yay, thank you, Workplace Mentor. I think I have tried. If you think that's a fair value, can someone please say thank you? I'm reading in the chat box. Oh, fantastic. Thank you, Workplace Mentor. See, I'm telling you, my 22 years experience is something you should not sniff at. I know what I'm talking about. I sincerely know what I'm talking about. And if you get on this program, I promise you, you are going to be happy that you did. This is the only cohort. I plan to hold this program in cohort. This is the only cohort that is going to be 32,500 because this is the first time I'm going to run it. Remember, I'm also still fully employed. So this is going to take quite a bit from my time for me to make sure that I get this done and do it properly. But I don't want to charge unnecessarily because I know there are many young people here. I saw a lot of people 8 months, 9 months, 10 months work. I don't want to stress you, but I want you to be positioned at work. I want you to get the benefits, that when you begin to act, people say, has she worked for 6 years? How does she know all the right things to do? They will not know that you are tapping the experiences of your mentor of 22 years. So this discount is only going to last for a short while. So I tell you to please take advantage immediately. Take advantage immediately. I may sleep tonight and maybe I'll talk to my husband and he will say, how can you give this kind of discount that you're not going to be around while you're preparing and making all these videos? So we will be suffering and you're charging only 32,000. So before he will change my mind, please make sure you make payments quickly. This is a screenshot. This address, that's my bank account number. Pay your 32,500 into it. Send me an email saying you have paid and you'll be registered immediately. So please hurry if you're going to be part of it. I need to see how many people are interested so that I can get to work very quickly. Remember, we're starting November 13th. Some people advised me, no, start it in the new year. I said, no, let them learn it this year so that from January, we have set all the goals. I'm watching to see how you are performing. You already know how, there's a momentum that comes with the new year. I want this set of people, this 154 people that are here right now, and all your friends that need this, please tell them I attended a fantastic webinar. The woman is so loaded and she's ready and willing to teach us what she knows for a fraction of the price. Let them get in. The slots are limited. I'm only one person. I cannot take too many people, at least not at this stage where, I don't have the gamut of a lot of people working with me on this yet. So please, if you're interested, make an investment into your future. When they tell you come and do side hustle, you're the first person to pay. But when they say invest in your career so that you can get a banging job that is paying you in dollars. I hope there are people in Nigeria here that are earning in both Naira and dollars. So whenever I look at Naira rates, there is 1,000 Naira, I just smile. And then I come back and say, hey, now what's happening in Nigeria? Because it really doesn't affect me. So let me teach you what I know so that you can be on the same trajectory. I didn't work in any American company. All my working life, I've worked in Nigeria. But I worked with mentors. I worked in the right organizations. I demonstrated the right behaviors and I rose quickly in my organization. So yet again, this is the bank address. I said bank address. This is the account number to pay to. Pay your monies quickly. You'll be put into the preparatory Telegram group while the program itself will start 13th of November. So let me paint the picture for you again, this transition picture. We've come to the end. This is your timeline to career success in 2024. Number one, all of us did it. You found the workplace mentor on social media, maybe Facebook, IG, Threads. I don't know where you found me. Maybe a friend, tagged you on one of my posts. The point is you found me. That's why you are here. Number two, today, October 15, you registered for this free webinar and you stayed till the end. Wow. So on your career success journey, everybody here has done 1 and 2. Now, it only remains a few people who will take the next step to 3, 4, 5, and 6. And 3 is November 13. You take action and you join the Dominate at Your Workplace 3-week career transformation program. And by that same November, you already start implementing all the practical workplace secrets that I'm going to be sharing. And from January to June, you're already seeing that you are happier, you are more competent, you are clear about your career goals, you are bold to ask for growth opportunities, you are ready to make a career change because I'm behind you saying, go, nothing will happen, get another job. You are due for another one. Go, I'm behind you, nothing will happen, go. And then you're stronger for that. And then, of course, you have better relationships with your boss. And at the end of the journey, there is a new you, there's a newly upgraded you, a more confident you, a totally in charge of your career you, and hopefully a promoted you who is able to now enjoy the benefits that careers truly bring to you. So thank you, thank you, thank you. We have come to the end of this presentation. I cannot thank you enough for staying with me up to this point. I can't even believe it. Over 150 people stayed still for the past 2.5 hours just to listen to me talk. I do not take it for granted. There are many people who have things to say, but no one is willing to listen to them. But I thank you, my tribers, for coming on this, for not making my preparation a waste, for encouraging me, even as I'm trying to impact you. I love you all. I respect you all. And believe me, I am committed to seeing you at the top of your career. So have a wonderful, wonderful work week coming ahead, and I will see you in our next class. Bye for now. The course is over. You can go home now. But please tell me what you thought about the presentation in the chat box. I'm reading because it's late. I'm not going to take questions at this session because we've done 2.5 hours. A number of us have to go to work tomorrow, including myself. But, we have our WhatsApp group. You can ask your questions there. We will try as much as possible to answer those questions you have about the program that is coming up. We'll answer all the questions you have. So please, thank you, thank you, thank you once again. Please, I would like you to do me one more favor. Tomorrow, go on my page and please talk about how great this webinar has been. Leave wonderful testimonials about this webinar. I would so appreciate it so that I can hear from you the kind of value that you got. You can also leave the comment in the WhatsApp preparatory group or the Telegram preparatory group. Please, I would like to hear what you thought about the webinar in its entirety so that in preparing for the next program, I can also infuse more of what you want to see and make sure that that program is fantastic and is curated for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate you all. I really don't want to go, but we have to go. Let's stop burning data. Bye for now. Cheers. Thank you. Ooh, somebody say playing music. I said go. You said I should play music. It's time to go. Why are you people not leaving? You want me to start the 3-week program right now? Should we start the 3-week program right now? Okay, let's go. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Please don't forget to leave your testimonials for me. I would really appreciate to hear what you think. Do that for me, please. I've been talking for 2.5 hours. My mouth is dry. I need to know you truly got value I would really appreciate if you can leave a word, just telling me how you found the webinar and what you expect to see in subsequent interactions that we have together. Again, you just don't know how much you all mean to me. I love you all, and I'm committed to making sure you succeed. Maybe I should just end the call by myself. Oh, I'll just take the time and be reading the messages. Somebody say we are not going. Chinedu, you must go. Oh my goodness. We're not going. You must go. It's 9:30. Let's go. Let's go. So I can go and discuss the webinar with my husband upstairs. So let's go, eh? Thank you very much. Thank you for staying till this time. Thank you. Don't worry. Your career is going to be awesome. Awesome. Oh, it's unethical for you to leave before me. Hey, but me too, I don't want to leave now. So it's okay. You can leave before me. You can leave. It's okay. It's okay. I don't mind. How can you join the WhatsApp group, please? Automatically when you registered, you should be able to join the WhatsApp group. But if you send me a DM, if you found me on Facebook or Instagram, just send me a DM with your phone number. Then I will manually add you to the WhatsApp group. How do we pay from Ghana? Okay, right. I'm going to send some information regarding that. For all of you, we have your email addresses. So we're going to be speaking more about the program. And I'll send you information for people who need to pay from outside the country. So don't worry. Between now and tomorrow, you will get that information. In fact, an email will go out to you all, I think by tomorrow morning, just explaining the payment process a little bit more. So don't worry, we've got you. I have a lot of followers from Ghana. Abena, especially, I know you. You're always clicking likes. I know you. So we have the necessary information you need to pay from wherever you're calling from. How can we get the recording of today's session? Okay, we're going to place, I think, once we edit and make it all nice and ready, we'll probably place it on YouTube or somewhere and send you all a link where you can watch it on there. Apologies, Ma, how long do we have to make payments? The discount is for the next 72 hours, but who knows, I may change my mind. Because I was struggling with the cost, to be honest, because that cost is nowhere near, what value I'm going to deliver. And I really struggled, but I just really want a lot of people to sign up. So as quickly as you can, pay so that I feel like, okay, a lot of people are interested. Let me just stay with this. So as soon as you can, please do. Yes, Linda, I love you too. I truly, truly love you. These are my core people, though. These 40 people are refusing to go. What is the cost, please, and how do we sign up? It's 32,500. You are going to send an email tomorrow that will show you how to easily pay, through different means, into the by direct transfer or through Paystack and all those. So you'll get an email, don't worry. And if you're not getting it fast enough, just shoot me a DM on any of my handles on Facebook or Instagram. I'll make sure there's somebody there answering questions. So don't worry, I've got you. Just write out whatever it is you want, but you will get a confirmation email tonight or tomorrow morning. Please give us till salary period. That's true. We are salaried workers, aren't we? I'll think about it some more. Tosin Adeyemi, I promise. I'll think about it some more. Don't worry, I've got you. Valerie, yes, that's you. I love you too, Valerie. I think now I've seen what you're going to do for me, Valerie. I hope that's the Valerie I'm talking about. So hit me up again in the DM, Valerie, and let's talk. Yes, it is you. Yeah. So let's talk. I think I can see where we can do some work together, especially on the program. So we'll talk about that some more. Come and be going home. Oh. There's work tomorrow. Go and get your clothes ready for work. Mm.